When I moved into my new neighborhood, I was looking for peace and quiet. The city had worn me down, and this place, quiet streets, spaced out homes and trees lining every sidewalk, felt like the break I needed. The house I bought was perfect, a little old, but it had charm. Brick walls, creaky floors, and a small garden in the back. I liked it instantly. But there was one thing that didn't sit right. The house next door was abandoned. Windows boarded up, weeds tall enough to hide a bicycle, and shingles missing from the roof. The real estate agent brushed it off when I asked, saying, "Just old owners who left. No one's touched it in years." I let it go. But on my third night, I started noticing things. It was around 2 a.m. when I first heard it. I was half asleep, lying in bed, when I heard footsteps crunching on gravel. Slow, deliberate, like someone walking the edge of my backyard. I got up and looked out the window. Nothing. No movement, no shadows. But it kept happening. Almost every night after that, I'd hear it again, always around the same time. I started thinking maybe it was an animal, a raccoon maybe, but there was never any trash knocked over, no signs. And then came the attic light. One night I got up for water and happened to glance out the window toward the old house. There, in the top corner window, a faint yellow light flickered on and off. I blinked. It was the attic. I didn't even think that place had power. The next day, I brought it up with the neighbor across the street. He was in his 70s, friendly enough. When I asked about the house, he got quiet. "Been empty for over a decade," he said. "No one's touched it since the Melsons left. Power was cut off a long time ago." "Then how's there light in the attic?" I asked. He looked up at the house and frowned. "If you're smart, you won't ask questions like that," he muttered. I didn't like that answer. Later that week, I heard something new. A scream. It wasn't loud, more like a desperate cry, muffled, like someone yelling into a pillow. But it was real. I stood at my back door, frozen, trying to pinpoint the sound. It was coming from the attic, the same attic with the flickering light. That night, I couldn't sleep. I laid awake, heart racing at every creak or gust of wind. I even recorded the audio on my phone. When I played it back the next morning, I heard it again, clearer this time. A scream, then what sounded like faint whispers. I went back to my elderly neighbor. "You hear it too?" he asked, almost in a whisper. "What do you mean?" I asked. He looked me in the eye and said something that stuck with me. "That house doesn't scream. It remembers." I waited until 2 a.m. Flashlight, gloves, my phone on silent. I slipped through the fence that divided our backyards. The boards creaked under my weight, but the sound didn't echo like I expected. It was swallowed up by the night, like the air around that place was heavier. The back door was slightly open, not broken, just ajar, like it had been waiting. I pushed it open slowly. It didn't squeak. Inside, the smell hit me first. Damp wood, mildew, and something metallic. The kitchen was stripped, the cabinets hanging open and empty. The wallpaper was peeling like dried skin. I moved slowly, every footstep deliberate. The entire house felt frozen in time. I reached the stairs. They were steep and dark, with a thick layer of dust that hadn't been touched. Until now, I could see my own prints forming behind me. As I climbed, I kept my light low. At the top was the attic door. It was shut. Unlike everything else, it looked untouched. No dust, no scratches, just clean, like someone opened it often. I turned the knob slowly. It gave with ease. The attic was empty, mostly. The light bulb flickered above, casting an uneven glow. The wooden floor creaked as I stepped in, and in the corner of the room sat an old, boxy cassette recorder. It was still running. I approached it cautiously and hit stop. Then play. That same scream echoed through the speaker, raw and distorted. I jumped, but then came the part I hadn't heard before, a whisper, almost too faint to catch. "Get out. He sees you." My spine froze. I looked around the attic again. Nothing, but the light flickered once more, then stopped. The room went dark. I fumbled with my flashlight, turned and nearly tripped running back down the stairs. I didn't stop until I slammed my own door shut and locked every bolt I had. Since that night, the light in the attic hasn't gone off. Every night at 2 a.m. it flickers on, then off, then on again. I don't ask the neighbors anymore. I don't look at that house. I don't think it wants me to.